All right. $30. Ken is with us. That's great. Gotcha. 10. Bringing you up.
And welcome to the Libertarian Affiliate Spotlight on LPTV, Libertarian Party Television, a production of the Libertarian Party Affiliate Support Committee, Valerie Sarwak serving as chair, and of course the Libertarian National Committee, Whitney Billieu serving as chair. As always, after a rewarding day, John Gapso again joins us late night on the big board. He's the one who's going to try and bring you some pictures and some graphics on what is sort of an improvised on-the-fly production tonight. I'm your host, Pat Ford. As always, it is my privilege to attempt to bring to you communications from affiliates, from candidates, LNC members themselves, the backbone of the party. Tonight, of course, we're talking about Kentucky. It's all about Kentucky. If you caught our sort of spot presentation last night, we had Mr. Toller from the Kentucky Libertarian Party. He is the vice chair. We have him back again tonight. And I think joining us in just a second is going to be Ken Moellman. He's the vice chair of the Libertarian Party, also a longtime advocate, player, officer, member, candidate of the Libertarian Party of Kentucky. Gentlemen, thanks to all of you for joining us. James, in particular, you, because of your, this has been a long couple of days for you. And, you know, we need to approach this with the solemnity, the reverence that it so deserves. And the point of tonight is just to give an update, briefly give an update, because I know you guys have had a long day, to continue to channel libertarian efforts. And in a situation like this, it's always tempting for a lot of us to call you. You get lots of phone calls from people who care, lots of outreach. Meanwhile, you're focused on a singular job. Folks who are boots on the ground in Kentucky for the libertarian movement are focused on a singular job, and that is providing relief, support, love, stuff for all the folks who've literally had their lives just obliterated. So much loss of life, so much personal destruction, so much havoc at a difficult time of the year, both spiritually, both weather-wise, after 2 years of COVID nonsense and madness. All of this just ripping these people's lives together. Our focus, of course, as libertarians is first and foremost with them, spiritually and as a function of love. That's the first and most important thing. But I'm not going to kid you. This is a time when all the conversation, years past, and quite frankly, action from so many people, this is the time when private charity must come to the fore, when we as libertarians, we've in a sense been singled out. We preach, and now we must practice. So first of all, gentlemen, again, thank you for joining us. James, how are things on the ground there? Are you getting any better? I know there's this tidal wave of national love and relief is coming from organizations from around the country, but how are you guys doing?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Pat. Appreciate it, first and foremost. Everything's doing good. We've had cash donations to come in and everything, but we've more importantly, really, today we finished filling up a 53-foot van trailer, tractor trailer today. It's about shoulder high, front to back, full of anything and everything. The people out there lost every single thing that they own. It's going good though. I've talked to some people that's on the ground out in Mayfield today. Everybody's just trying to still get their thoughts and everything together. The story came out today from a mother. Said this is the only way that she can find to even cope with everything is to tell the whole timeline of everything that happened. The story is kind of touching. It brought a tear to my eye. Actually brought more than one tear to my eye. They had a 5-month-old baby. They just got out of the car, so the baby was still in the car seat. And they were holding onto the baby's car seat with the baby in it, like for dear life. And ended up that the winds from the tornado and everything ripped the car seat from the mother's arms. And the whole family actually went flying through the air, ended up on the other side of their neighbor's house. The 5-month-old baby did not make it.
Oh my God.
You know, it's things like this that, you know, very sad, but it's things like this is why we do the things we do. And it's just a sad situation.
I don't even know how we follow that. That's yeah. This is not a movie. This is not Netflix. This is real life. This is Christ Almighty. So you folks, while I'm kind of digesting that, James, tell folks you filled up the truck. What are the next steps, both in terms of what you're going to deliver, how you're going to get it there, and when people wake up in the morning or before they go to bed tonight, what can they do to help?
Well, we're leaving Lexington, Kentucky in the morning at 8 o'clock. It'll be 7 o'clock Central Time, which is local Mayfield time. We should be arriving in Mayfield at the fairgrounds there between 11 o'clock in the morning and noon to deliver everything there. That's where they want us to go to. That's where they're going to accept our truck and things like that. And then we're going to be, as soon as we get it unloaded, we're heading back to Lexington. We've already got enough people to probably fill up another trailer within a day and a half. So we're heading back. We're opening it back up on Wednesday to fill up another trailer to go back out to probably Dawson Springs, which is not too far from Mayfield. And, you know, if you want to help, guys, we have the cash donation links. We have the Zelle account, which is truckerboyfreedom@gmail.com. Then we have Cash App, which is the $ and Browns fan 2022. And then we have Venmo. Venmo is Venmo is at Tornado Relief. Relief is purposely misspelled. It's RELEIF is how you spell relief in that. So it's at Tornado Relief.
Excellent. So are you going to continue with having folks order stuff for you to pick up?
Okay, so what we're doing is we're not sure if we're going to stay at this same Walmart when we come back. We actually put a hurting on that Walmart on a lot of items. Today they ran out of toothpaste, toothbrushes, ran out of water. They ran out of deodorant. We put a hurting on that Walmart. So we may be at a different Walmart in Lexington. So I don't want to say keep ordering there at that same Walmart because I don't know that we're going to be at that same Walmart. But it will be Walmart. And once we get back and open back up Wednesday morning, then I will put out the information and we will be able to do the same way as far as the online orders.
Okay. So you'll get that to us as soon as possible then, so that we can continue to share it.
Absolutely.
Because people are looking for direction. But in the meantime, if you got a few bucks, and again, this has been our mantra all year with candidate support as well. We understand that these are difficult times for a lot of people, but I'm gonna commit a little sacrilege here. Not really, but I think we all know that the spiritual and the physical needs of the folks in Western Kentucky, for lack of a better term, trump candidate donations. So I'm just going to ask everybody. I'll be doing it as well. I'm not going to ask people to do anything I won't do. To dig deep a little bit. Any amount helps. When you can walk in there and you can cash app out and just essentially stroke a giant check at the cash register for effectively priced thing. And this, by the way, this is the important thing. Years ago, because I'm a boomer, right? Years ago, when we responded to emergencies, we pulled together stuff. And now we realize that there are targeted needs which change, and they can change rapidly. There might be past a situation where folks now have the basics, or some of the national organizations like American Red Cross, the Kentucky National Guard, all those organizations might be starting to fill in some of the gaps on some of these items. So then it becomes a question of, what do people need? It might be tools, it might be ladders, it might be, all the stuff folks need to rebuild a community. We pray to God that folks in those communities are in a position, whether it be insurance or elsewhere, to help them rebuild at least the physical aspects of their life, hoping that there aren't too many more that have suffered personal loss. But that's where the cash comes in. If you can hand out some gift cards or bring folks those type of emergency needs, basic tools, assume that these folks have nothing. Literally, James, a lot of these folks are literally starting from scratch, aren't they?
Yes, they most definitely are. I couldn't imagine, these people now are paying for hotels every single night. This is something that they've never budgeted for,
right?
Especially here around Christmas time. And they're starting to get to where they're having problems even paying for a hotel room, because you get a family of 6, they're getting 2 or 3 hotel rooms a night, and it's getting tough on them.
Now, and you've got so many people, and it's a condensed area. There are only so many. Imagine how many buildings how much shelter has just ceased to exist overnight, literally, both on a commercial and on a personal basis. Then you add that to the hotels that are out there for folks who may not or may not have transportation to the hotels. What's the situation? What's going on with price gouging and things like that?
Good thing you brought that up. Guys, this price gouging stuff is for real. Tonight, I got a message saying that a family, it's a mother, 3 of her sons, and 6 grandchildren. They got 3 rooms, and they're staying at a hotel in Paducah. And so I was like, don't worry about it. I got it covered. So I call out there and to the hotel. They're like, it's $188.12 per night per room. I get on the internet, look it up on the internet. They're going for $94 a night. So the price gouging is real, guys. And what makes it worse, man, these people's lost everything. Why do you want to take advantage of somebody that's just lost everything? Maybe a husband, maybe a wife, maybe kids. Why do you want to double your room rates just because they're wanting to stay at a place and they have no place to stay?
I'll chime in here. The one thing I do know about that region of the state, because we've done a bunch of political stuff there, there's not a whole lot of rooms out there. When we all go to Fancy Farm, there are people that end up staying an hour, 2 hours, even 3 hours away, because there's just not a lot of accommodations out that way. You've got Paducah and Metropolis over in Illinois. You got a little bit of Kentucky Dam, although I don't know if they're open. They're off season. And I don't know. From there, you're, I guess, heading down towards Clarksville, maybe, or heading, back that direction. There's not a lot of stuff close to stay there. And that's something that, as you guys were talking about that, I really got to thinking about, boy, when we do the political stuff, we fill all those hotels up. These people who actually live there, where are all these people going to go? I don't even know.
What type of presence has the government, if you will, been able to establish, both both from terms of the National Guard, if you will? When I think of big government organizations, of course, I think about the American Red Cross. What organizations have been able to establish a beachhead there?
I know the Red Cross is there. That's on Saturday, the governor deployed and put on orders 181 National Guardsmen. The thing about this is now I think they're thinking about maybe bringing up some more. I haven't heard that officially. I just heard it today. I do know that, we talk about Mayfield, we talk about Dawson Springs. Both towns pretty much lost everything they had. But Bowling Green here in Kentucky also got hit with an EF3 tornado. And it tore up some stuff there. And the problem is now, I think they may even have to bring in some National Guard to stop looting in Bowling Green. That was a problem that I heard that started last night. So, everything that could go wrong is going wrong now.
Yeah, it's wow. Yeah, you folks, and I know there were a couple of people who wanted to join us tonight, but we ended up running a little late tonight. We'll be back on this during the week and on Friday. Just trying to, I don't think we have to raise awareness at this point. I think the whole nation knows what's going on, and we're horrified.
Pat, if I could jump in real quick.
Yeah, please do. This is rough.
Yeah, no, a little bit earlier you talked about the needs changing from day to day. And that is absolutely the case. So for my friends over in D1, First Congressional District, that's Western Kentucky, they were saying today they needed chainsaws and wheelbarrows.
Yep.
And James and I talked about that. And then, but that wasn't what they needed yesterday, right? And then to tomorrow, they're probably going to they may need something else, or, it's kind of a day-by-day process. I think, as James pointed out with the clearing out of the Walmart, the things they ran out of are the things that are going to be the most needed, though, right? Those basic essentials, things you use every single day that you might take for granted. Heck, I was just thinking about the fact that, do these people have any coffee? I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty bad off in the morning if I don't have coffee. I mean, but food and water, clothes, detergent, deodorant, all the things that you kind of take for granted are gone. And look, there's no good time for this to happen, but for this to happen at Christmas is awful. I mean, people have been wrapping presents and getting stuff ready to go. I mean, we're 12 days away here, and they've lost not only their homes, which should have been a time of happiness and joy and family, is instead a time of mourning and loss. It's really, I don't know. It's kind of overwhelming to me, really. And in many ways, I've been trying to keep my head down, Pat, as we talked about last night. I've been doing CRM stuff, after work today, kind of keeping my mind off of a lot of it. But I did check in with James a couple times today. It sounds like that went really, really well. If you saw any of James's videos, they filled that truck all the way to the back. There was a few feet left where they were going to get a few more things with the cash donations that were made. And, you know, hopefully, hopefully, and I should say, I know it will, but it'll do some folks some good. And I really appreciate and want to thank everybody involved. James, thank you for putting this together. You put the legwork in. You know, we talked right after the aftermath, and you were at the Walmart. You were like, I'm going to go in there and ask them if they'll let me set up a truck here, and then I got to get a truck. And you know, you pulled through, man. You got it together, and you did a great job putting that in. You got a truck, you got a driver, you got a trailer, you got a follow-up truck. You've got, you know, that took a lot of coordination and took boots on the ground. I thank you for that. I thank the people that have donated, whether it was direct through the curbside pickup or the cash donations. You know, every bit of it's going to go. And James, you can talk more about that, how all this is going to actually help. And there's no skim here. Nobody's making 20% off the top or any of that kind of nonsense that you get with some of the big charity outfits. You know, this is all going to help people.
Yeah, James, if you could talk to being on the ground, because I feel what you're setting up is the next generation version of some of the responses that have occurred, particularly down in the bayou, and particularly down in the southern part of the United States. I feel like you're doing what you're doing now is being nothing less than helping write the book for what we as a party and we as a political organization need to key in on going forward. A libertarian life well lived includes sacrifice for others simply because of the spirit of voluntarism. So tell us how you did this. Yesterday we were focusing just on the exigent nature of things, but give us a few tips on what worked.
Well, you know, I just like helping people, right? It's never been about me. It's always been about everybody else. Friday or Saturday morning when I woke up and I started seeing all the aftermath and all that stuff, you know, my first instinct was, okay, I've got to get to Mayfield. You know, I done a video saying that I was going to Mayfield. And then I started getting calls, I started getting texts, I started getting messages on Facebook. And it got me thinking, you know, they're not going to let me in Mayfield today. What am I thinking? You know, they're searching for bodies. They're doing this, they're doing that. And automatically when I said that, it was like, okay, now we got to start getting donations. And that's where I went straight to Walmart. Walmart said, yes, you can have a tractor trailer. So I get on the phone, I call a guy that I know in the trucking industry. He lives 5 hours away. He lives almost to Michigan, in Indiana. And I said, man, I need some help. And he was like, what do you need? I said, I need a truck and a trailer, like now. He said, okay, I'm getting in my truck. He was home, spending home time. He said, I'm getting in my truck right now. I'll be down there tonight.
Wow.
You know, our goal was to fill this tractor trailer up and get it to him. We've done that. We're taking it down there tomorrow. We're coming back. I mean, I was told today, a guy pulled up, and he said, man, he said, are you on Facebook? I'm like, yeah. He added me as a friend, and everything right there. He said, when are you coming back? It was like Wednesday. He said, you don't come back to a Walmart until you see me. I'm like, okay. He said, because I can fill that truck up myself. And I'm like, really? He was like, yeah. He said, I own a mattress store. He said, I'll fill that thing up with twin mattresses in a heartbeat. So, you know, it's just about getting started, because once you start, it's going to fall into place.
Right.
You know, and that's what it was. You know, it's just the first initiative to find that place that was going to let me put a tractor trailer. You know, I knew that once that tractor trailer got there, you know, it was going to fall into place. Today was a tremendous day. We had 2 news stations from Lexington there, and people were showing up all day. I seen it on the news. I seen this on the news. You know, here's some stuff. And you know, it's what I do. You know, I've been all over this country. I've done fundraisers for children with disabilities all over this country. Northern Illinois, Kansas, Missouri. You know, I guess you could say it comes easy to me because, you know, like I said, it's not about me, it's about everybody else. You know, as long as everybody else is taken care of, well, old James is going to be fine. You know, and that's the way I've always thought. That's the way I was raised. That's the way I grew up. And, you know, I just do it.
And I'll jump in here to say, you know, this is not the first time that James has jumped into a situation to help people out. He's been, you know, getting back to kind of the libertarian credentials. He's been helping fight an eminent domain case with some folks down in getting towards Eastern Kentucky, where they're trying to evict them to tear down their house, turn it into a park from a home, group home. You know, James is out there, you know, and so everybody knows James is a candidate for office, but he's running for state house, and none of this is in his district. This is not about his campaign. This is about doing the right thing and preaching to our principles. This is about spontaneous order. It's about people coming together and just doing the right things without having to have top-down central authority. It is we are libertarians being libertarian and doing the right thing.
Again, I feel like what's going to evolve out of this, and again, I want to give credit where credit is due in the past, because you know, you think of people like Brett DeRitter and so many other libertarians who have always stepped up in times of crisis. You are doing nothing less than creating a blueprint for what I think we need to focus on nationally, which is having state affiliates where there's a plan in place in the case of a natural disaster to either A, if need be, respond locally, or B, if in fact it's happening, to our libertarian brothers and sisters around the country, that we have a plan in place to support them. So, you know, we call it a disaster recovery plan. That's what they do that's what they do in the MBA programs. I can, none of which I have any experience in. But
Right. And Pat, if I could jump in on that one point real quick. Some people have asked, well, what's up with these weird links for donating? In the state of Kentucky, it is illegal for the Libertarian Party of Kentucky to contribute to a charity.
Amazing.
So the state party has not taken any official action. I want to emphasize the state party has not taken any official action because it is illegal for us to take official action. But our individual members can do whatever they please. And that is what has happened here, is that we have individuals acting individually. I think I'm like deputy IT director or something. I don't have a vote on the state board, and I've been helping get the word out and whatnot. James is the vice chair, but he's not like he's been directed by the state party to do this. We're keeping it legal and keeping it, and that's why it's not, that's why the weird link, because I've had a few questions about that. People have asked, well, what's up with these links? Why is it this? That's because we have to.
Right.
So
the important thing here, and what the folks in Kentucky are excelling at, is rapid response. You know, in a couple of weeks, when what do they always call it? Turning the battleship on a dime, right? The government, with all these billions invested, because remember, the word is invested. It's not taxes. You made an investment in your government. Yeah. By the time they get into the problem is that people, particularly this time of the year, have suffered just terrible losses and illness. And again, regardless of how you feel about the pandemic, there's a lot of ill people out there. So you've got crisis compounding weather, compounding time of year. You've got supply chain issues, which of course, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, 3 years ago, Walmart would have filled up that, where, the automatic trigger would have gone for the Walmart computer that says, we got something going on here. And within an hour, they would have been loaded up trucks at some warehouse somewhere, in Kentucky or Tennessee and loading up and sending them down. Nothing is that easy anymore, which is why it's critical for us as an organization to respond quickly, to have people who have both the spirit, the tools, and the desire to stop what they're doing and respond. And that's the difference between an organization that is going to live a libertarian life, a group of people who are going to be, if you will, synonymous with libertarian values and getting shit done. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that all comes down to. I don't care. Folks know I'm not a bylaw guy, a bureaucracy guy, or any of that stuff. I want to get shit done. And this is why I'm admiring the folks in Kentucky and folks from around the country who've managed to stop what they're doing and just understand the severity of the issue and just respond. So Jane, my hat's off to everybody out there. Send us some pictures, a couple of pictures when we get off the air tonight, and we'll put them in the comments. And just to give an idea of what folks can do when they put their hearts and minds to it. In terms of, I know there were a couple of members of the party who had suffered severe losses. Any word or we don't need to know their names because I don't want to put them on a stage, if you will. But how are they doing? Any word from members of the party or our immediate libertarian family in Kentucky?
I have not heard any follow-ups, Pat. I mean, I had to work today, and honestly, I don't even know how to. I don't know how to call somebody and be like, "Hey, man, what's it like being homeless?" I mean, it's a weird conversation, and I'm like, I'm just going to let those people have some space right now. They're listen, like we talked about last night, thank God none of our folks died. There were a lot of people who weren't so lucky. But as far as I'm aware, all of our people are accounted for now. I see the stories coming out of our first congressional district out in Graves County, that people are working together. The community's coming together. The people that are coming in to help are helping. I saw a post from the wife of our former first district chair, mentioned that somebody came out and helped them tarp the roof, which was nice, because they took, apparently the tornado, the epicenter was at its closest 0.4 of a mile from their house. And at some points during the storm was a mile wide. So they don't know if they caught just the tail of it or what, but they took some pretty good roof damage and some other miscellaneous things out in the yard, knocked over, blown over, torn off, whatever. But thankfully for them, their homes were spared there, and so I saw our U.S. Senate candidate, Brad Barron, who ran last time, was out in Bowling Green helping people clean up. So that was awesome. A big shout out to Brad getting out there, him and his at least one son. I saw it, and now I'm blanking, but they were out working, which was great. It's libertarians doing libertarian things. We just go do the things. We didn't get a government permit to take James's trailer out. Didn't get a government permit for Brad to go out with a chainsaw and help people cut trees down. We just go do it because in times like this, as you note, Pat, it's just time to get stuff done. Yep.
So James, I guess before we close out, first of all, of course, if there's anything you'd like to add, but maybe you can give us a summary, on what's the drill for tomorrow in terms of, I'm sensing right now the need is for cash. And you're going to just kind of give us an overview of what's going to happen for the next 24 hours or so, or I should say what's planned to happen for the next 24 hours or so. Yeah, so
It's more or less the next 24 hours is get this out there, this truck out there, get it unloaded. So it could be, the stuff could be put to good use and put to the families that need it. We're going to be, with the money that we've raised, obviously first thing in the morning before we head out, we're going to Lowe's. We're going to pick up some kerosene heaters, some chainsaws, some wheelbarrows, And then we're going to take the rest with us, and we're going to help some of these families, pay for some of these families' hotel rooms. They need help. One family tonight, like I said, they were having problems with their card. And you know what? My first instinct, let's pay for it. And I called the hotel, covered all 3 rooms for tonight, and I said, I'll be in there tomorrow. We'll take care of some more. The next 24 hours is all about Mayfield, getting to Mayfield, getting them some supplies out there, and helping some of these families out with some financial expenses that they never even planned to have.
Right. All right. So, folks, we've got up a list of where to donate. You'll see our post from yesterday. The list is where to donate. John, I'm going to ask John to throw that up one more time. And folks, just do what you can. You know, the few dollars here and there and the aggregate will add up and mean a lot to folks who literally have nothing. You know, there's so many important religious traditions that happen at this time of year. They're festive. They all ultimately have their root in some celebration of peace and love and celebration of each other as family. We're just asking you, again, knowing that it's been a difficult couple of years for a lot of people, just to do what you can. If you're like me, you believe that charity just has its own returns, whether it be the internal peace it gives you of being part of something perhaps bigger than yourselves, or helping someone that you may never even meet or ever even know. All of that is part of the tradition of this time of year. It's part of our tradition as libertarians. You guys have anything else you want to add to it? I think James did a wonderful job of sort of summing it all up for us tonight.
Go ahead, James.
No, I mean, I just thank you, Pat, for having us on here, and thanks to everybody watching that's donated, even if it's not to Kentucky. If you donated to Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, it don't matter. Guys, if you've donated, thanks a lot. This has gone a long way, much bigger than what we could have ever imagined. So, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for everything. And I know that the people that were infected, it's going to get the help from all of us doing what we're doing. It's going to mean a lot more to them than it is me, and it means a lot to me.
And I just want to say ditto to that. I was going to say a lot of the same things. So thank you, James, for being the boots on the ground. For folks that don't know, James is in that Walmart parking lot, has been the last 2 days doing this, while the rest of us have been staying warm in our homes. So I really want to thank you, James, for taking the lead on that. And again, thanks to everybody who's donated, because obviously that's the whole point. And Pat, thank you for helping us get the word out. And of course, thanks to the LP for having the platform to do it. So, we do good things. Libertarians do libertarian things.
There you go, buddy. Folks, you've been listening to the Libertarian Affiliate Spotlight on LPTV, Libertarian Party Television, a production of the Libertarian Party Affiliate Smart Committee, Valerie Sarwark serving as chair, and of course the Libertarian National Committee, Whitney Dillieu serving as chair. As always, a big thanks to John Gapsu, who's on the big board. John rushed in here after a quality 14-hour day in service to all the folks in Amazon who desperately needed whatever tchotchkes or crap they needed today, and managed to have the energy and the time to put into this, as he does several nights a week. To all the people in Kentucky, much love. We're going to do everything we can to stay on top of this, and just again, our purpose here is simply to give folks information in a single source, if you will, so they know where to send their money. Do they know where to generate the resource, where it should go, what impact it's having, and also to allow folks on the ground in Kentucky to do what they're obviously doing so well. So stay safe, Kentucky. God bless you, and God bless, if you will, the Libertarian Party. Have a wonderful night. Somehow I think we'll be talking soon. Good night.